Hello, Miss Graham here. Today I want to talk to you about another simple machine. This one's called the inclined plane. Some people call it a ramp. And I want to show you how you can use an inclined plane to make work easier. So I'm going to show you what a ball looks like on a flat surface. It's not really going anywhere. It's basically a fancy word for a ramp. So I built an inclined plane contraption right behind me. And later I'm going to show you how it works. But first I want to read you a story about a kid who loves to build. This is by Andrea Beatty and illustrated by David Roberts. It's called Iggy Peck, Architect. There's Iggy. And this is published by Abrams Books. Thank you, Abrams Books, for letting us read aloud online for you today. Young Iggy Peck is an architect and has been since he was 2, when he built a great tower in only an hour with nothing but diapers and glue. "Good gracious, Ignatius," his mother exclaimed. "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen." But her smile faded fast when a light wind blew past and she realized those diapers weren't clean. "Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks." But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples and temples from modeling clay. At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye and out on the porch built the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. Dear Ig had it made until 2nd grade when his teacher was Miss Lila Greer. On the very first day, she had this to say: "We do not talk of buildings in here. Gothic or Romanesque, I couldn't care less about buildings ancient or new." She said in her lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. That might seem severe, but she was sincere, for when she was no more than 7, she'd had a great fright at a dizzying height in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 95th floor, young Lila got lost from the group. She was found 2 days later in a stuck elevator eating cheese with a French circus troupe. After that day, it's quite safe to say, she thought all building lovers were nuts. As a teacher, she thought that, above all, one ought to avoid them. No ifs, ands, or buts. As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk. But he didn't hear. He sat in the rear while building a castle of chalk. "You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. Tear down that castle right now. You will not build in here. Is that perfectly clear? Do you need to see Principal how?" Poor Iggy. "No, ma'am," Iggy said. He lowered his head and his heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed, and now 2nd grade was a bore. Poor 2nd graders in Miss Lila Greer's class. She doesn't realize how amazing building is and how good it is for your brain. After 12 long days that passed in a haze of reading, writing, and arithmetic, Miss Greer took the class to Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. They crossed an old trestle to a small island nestled in the heart of a burbling stream. But they no sooner passed than the footbridge collapsed and Miss Lila Greer started to scream, "We're trapped here! Oh my! Alas, kids, goodbye!" Her eyeballs rolled back in her head. She dropped to the ground with a vague groaning sound. "Luckily, she just fainted. She's not dead." The class was amazed. They stood there quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do. But one bright young man was off hatching a plan. which started with Miss Lila's shoe. Soon each lad and lass there at Blue River Pass was working together as one. What do you think they're going to build? First of all, what do they need? What happened? What do they need to build to save their class? And when she came to, Miss Lila Greer knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw hanging there a structure with cables and braces, and on the far side, beaming with pride, were 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots and things, fruit roll-ups and strings, some of which one should not mention, were stretched ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge, dangling from shoestring suspension. It all became clear to Miss Lila Greer as she crossed that bridge over the stream. There are worse things to do when you're stuck in grade 2 than spend your time building a dream. What did they build? That looks like a familiar bridge. Do you recognize that bridge? Now, every week at Blue River Creek Elementary in 2nd grade, all the school kids can hear, along with Miss Greer, how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker in t-shirt and sneakers talks of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course, he's the guy who builds towers from pie, that brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. Good job, Iggy. I want to show you what I built. So real quick, let's just see if I can let you take a look behind me. Now, this is my automatic dog treat dispenser. So hopefully what will happen if I do it right is I'm going to use an inclined plane right here. Some people call it a ramp. And I'm going to roll the ball down the ramp. It's going to knock over all the dominoes. And then it's going to knock over the cup. And inside the cup, let's see if I can just fix this for you right here. Inside the cup, there's going to be something special for my dog, Red. Come here, Red. Let's see if it works. All right, Red, you see my treat? Treat is going in the, come here. It's going to go in the automatic treat dispenser. Okay, sit right here. Sit. All right, when that red cup drops, hopefully it's going to work. Let's see. If it doesn't work the first time, that's okay. All right, Red, are you ready? Here we go. Go get the treat. Go get it. He has to find it, but it worked. Thanks for joining me. I hope you build something cool, just like me and Iggy. Bye.